Lights, camera, action, action, action!
Hello, today on Old News, where if you missed it the first time, this is your second chance. I'm your host, Philip Matthews, and today we are going to be discussing the Gilded Age and the progressive movements. First of all, we're going to talk about immigration. Secondly, urbanization. We're going to move on to factory conditions, the secrets behind the meat industry, and the book The Jungle, overall goals for the progressives, how progressives worked for reforms with the muckrakers, Teddy Roosevelt's reforms, the election of 1912, Woodrow Wilson's reforms, and women's suffrage. And on the scene of immigration at Ellis Island, we have Jeff. Thanks, Phil. I'm here at Ellis Island in New York, where over 3 million immigrants are coming through. Let's talk to one right now. Now, what kind of immigrant are you?
I'm an old immigrant.
And where are you from?
I'm from Britain.
Alright. Here come some more immigrants. Now, what kind of immigrants are you guys?
We're new immigrants.
Where are you from?
Italy. This is my wife, Kate.
Alright, back to you, Phil. Thank you, Jeff, for that very interesting recap. Now with Alexa, with the full scoop on urbanization.
Thank you, Phil. And the scoop is, I'm here in the city and the population is booming. We are here now with a political machine and an immigrant. Tell me how this works.
You kind of just like put your vote in and you get your job and housing out as soon as you put your vote in because you voted for this political machine. I'm in the Italian ghetto and it includes rats, a smelly room, garbage and bad sewage. What kind of place is this? Well, at least I have a job. I work in a shoe factory. $1 a day? You stupid machine. This is unfair.
This system is corrupt. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you, Alexa, for that nice story. Moving on to factory conditions with Aussie.
Thanks, Phil, and we're here with Patty, and she is a factory worker. How old are you, Patty?
I'm 6.
And what's it like working in a factory?
Well, I can't breathe very well
Why?
because there is poor ventilation here in the factory.
And why are you working at a factory at such a young age?
Because my whole family has to work because there's really low wages. And there's lots of accidents.
What are you doing? Get back to work. Come on. I could have an immigrant replace you.
We're just doing an interview.
You know what? No.
Okay, Phil, that was pretty interesting, but back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Aussie, for that very touching story. Moving on to the secrets behind the meat industry. We have Bob with the story. This thing on? Oh, thanks, Phil. Now we're here with Granny Smith, and she's going to reenact the meat that was produced in the meat packaging industry. Since we could not actually go to the meat packaging industry, she will reenact it for us. Take it away.
Alright, so first off, I get all my ideas from Upson Sinclair's book, The Jungle. So that's where my recipe comes from. And first we're going to start out with some rat hair. It makes it a little bit tangy. Then they put some sawdust in there because they were in a factory and it was all dirty. And then to kill the rats, they decided that they were going to put in some poison on the bread. There's all the poison. You know, like smush it in there and put it in. And somehow or another, some rat poop ended up in there. And we got some of that around here. So, and then you just smash it all together and make the meat a little bit like grimier and nasty. So then you get to eat the meat and it's pretty delicious.
All right. Thank you very much, Granny. back to Phil in the studio. Thank you, Bob, for that very disgusting topic. Next with Alexa talking about the overall goals for the progressives.
Thanks, Phil. I'll be filling in for Alexa today. So right now we have with us Greg, who happens to be progressive. So Greg, can you tell us what were some of the goals that the progressives had?
Certainly. Some of the things that progressives tried to accomplish is, first of all, government should be more accountable to its citizens. Secondly, we believe that the government should limit the power of big businesses and end laissez-faire government, which means hands-off. The government should have more power to limit the lives of citizens and end the corruption in the government.
Alright, back to you, Phil.
Thank you, Alexa. Now moving on to how progressives worked for reform and muckrakers. Chad's got the story.
Thank you, Phil, but this is actually Alexa. But today we have someone doing something very odd. So, what are you doing?
Well, you see, I'm a muckraker.
What's that?
Well, you see, what I do is I take the bad things in society and I show the public.
What do you do?
Well, we do a couple easy steps. We investigate issues of concern, we publicize them, and then we put pressure on Congress to get what we want. Some other things we've done are socialism, labor movement, municipal reform, prohibition, and women's suffrage.
That's very nice of you to help the public. Back to you, Phil.
Thanks, Chad. Now we're moving on to Teddy Roosevelt's reforms with Aussie.
Thanks, Phil. I'm here with Teddy the Trust Buster, progressive president. As you can see, TR loves busting trusts for monopolies over a business. Teddy helped break up Standard Oil Trust and the Beef Trust. TR was also a conservationist. He helped set aside 200 million acres for forests and parks and watersheds.
I love planting seeds.
Radio became TR's campaign slogan, and it made it fair for everyone.
That's not fair. Come on.
It is fair.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Square deal.
Oh, thanks.
yeah.
Thanks for making it fair.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Thank you, Aussie. Now moving on to the big competition in the election of 1912. Greg is on the scene.
Thanks, Phil. And now we're here with the presidential candidates of the 1912 election. First off, we have Teddy Roosevelt.
Boomer's party! Woo!
Next up, we have William Howard Taft. And what party are you running for?
Republican.
All right. Next up, we have Woodrow Wilson. And what political party are you running for?
Democrat.
All right. America, the choice is yours. Cast your vote now. The votes are in, and the winner is Woodrow Wilson.
What? I'm out.
Yeah, you guys all know that I won. I hope you know. My name is Woodrow Wilson.
Back to you, Phil.
Thank you, Greg. That was great. Now moving on with Alexa, she's got the full story on Woodrow Wilson's reforms.
Thanks, Philip. Now I'm here with Woodrow Wilson, who I'm presenting the Most Progressive President Award. Here you go, Woodrow. How did you get this award?
Well, you see, I created the Federal Trade Commission designed to prevent the corruption of big businesses. I created more antitrust laws.
But didn't you allow Jim Crow laws?
Yes, well, I established the Federal Reserve System in 1913. It was designed to prevent corruption in the banks and to prevent bank failures.
Oh, well that sounds very...
No, and he didn't even want women's suffrage in the beginning either.
You know what, Philip, back to you.
Thanks, Alexa. Now, with women's suffrage, Aussie's got the story.
Thanks, Phil, and I'm here in
We
Washington,
want
D.C.
votes.
with
We
2
want
of the
votes.
5,000 suffragettes here.
Votes. Women's rights. We want
What are you guys
votes.
doing here today?
Well, we're protesting for votes. We want votes in our government.
Why wouldn't America want you guys to vote?
Well, for some reason they think that if we can vote, we're a little too manly.
Oh, well, what's your guys' names?
Well, my name is Kat.
And I'm Susan B. Anthony! Yeah! I've been fighting for women's rights for 50 years and I'm not gonna stop now, even though it's cold and I'm old!
Alright, well, with that
We want votes.
interesting
We want
story
votes.
I just got here,
Women's rights.
we're going to go back to you in the studio, Phil. It's 1920 and we're back in Washington, D.C., where the women's suffragettes were protesting for women's suffrage. And the 19th Amendment was passed just the other day, allowing women the right to vote.
Thanks for watching Old News, and I hope you enjoyed our recap of the Progressive Unit. Signing off, Philip Matthews. Oh, thank you, I'm here in Ellis Island. Actually, wait, start over.
Hey Phil! In the scoop, okay, fertility and the population is booming! Right here we are with
The secrets of what is behind all this meat packing. Okay, never mind. Now we're moving on to how progressives work for. Hello. Since we could not. Thanks, Phil. By the way. Okay, never mind.
So are muckrakers good for America?
Definitely, we're changing the government. Okay, just cut it.
Why is that?
Because then we will steal their jobs.
Josh.